I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt. Once again, we're about to another review. There's another paid request, this time for I Hate Facebook. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any other type of videos or topics, reactions, reviews, re-reviews, randomness, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for Blacula from 1972, which I've heard of this film. It's probably part of the blaxploitation films of the 70s, and then this led to Stream Blacula Stream, and what was it, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? I forget what the title of it was. Blackenstein, I know that was one. And this was a fun movie. I mean, the production value at times does seem like a TV movie. It does seem like a little bit more... part of me wishes this was like Kolchak the Night Stalker. Because I saw a couple people that I would see on that TV show, as well as the TV movies. But this had some goofy charm to it. And I thought the actors, especially William Marshall as Blacula, and then... God, I'm going to butcher this name. Thalmus Rasulala as Gordon, the doctor, who's pretty much our hero in the film. I thought they did a good job. And, you know, Blacula kicked some ass in the third act. He kicks more ass than Dracula did, so that's one thing. Like, he's kicking some ass. He's fucking up the cops in the warehouse, and biting people, fries a cop, smacks one off a railing. And even Blacula's like, fuck this. You're not killing me. I do that shit myself. So Blacula's pretty badass. And I thought William Marshall did a good job acting as the title character. And the setup was interesting enough where it's Transylvania 1780. Dracula himself is in the film, but some other folks wants his help with the slave trade. And of course Dracula, being a piece of shit, laughs about it. And William Marshall doesn't like that. He's like, fuck you. Starts fighting people. They overcome him. Dracula's like, you dare to fight me? Bites him. Curses him. I deem you Blacula. So Dracula's fucking racist. Not only is he an asshole, not only does he suck blood, but Dracula's also a fucking racist. So you know he's double the evil. Racist prick. And then puts him in a coffin. So many years later, this coffin's purchased as part of this estate by two homosexual interior decorators. And this is definitely a film that's not PC. I do wonder how a person who happens to be gay would feel about this, if they would be offended or not. And there's definitely quite a few people, including cops, that will call them a A word that rhymes with maggot. Just put the F in front of it. Let me put it that way. That's used quite a bit in this movie, so it's definitely an un-PC film. And the two homosexual interiors, the way the voice is a little bit more high-pitched and a little bit more, limp-wristed. Again, there'd probably be people who would be offended by it. That's up to... if a person watching this is gay, you can let me know how you feel about it. But pretty much, the coffin gets open, he kills both of them, bites both of them. One body is found, one isn't. One body is put for the funeral, then the body goes missing. And the dialogue, I'm not going to say the word. Who the hell would want a dead maggot? But he didn't say maggot. Again, put the F in front of it. Who want... I mean, like, what the fuck? But that's, that's just how it was back then. Not saying I condone it, but just how it was. And here's the thing. In a movie, it's like the N-word. It's fine being put into a movie because if you're trying to replicate, even in a fantastical world, sadly, this is how people talk back then. That's how people talk today. To hide everything is hiding people in a bubble. If you hear it, you get, whether you're used to it, you know it exists, it gets less shocking, and I'm not saying you get desensitized to it, but it's like, it's there. You can't hide in a bubble forever. They say in a movie, a movie is safe. It's fake, it's phony, it's fiction. Then that way you hear it in real life. I'm not saying it's right for them to say it in real life. Not at all. But don't let it have power over you. That is what I'm saying. Don't let words have power over you. They're just words. Believe me, I've been called a lot of words in my years on YouTube. Death threats. Death threats on my mom, even. Because I didn't like a movie. Like Prometheus or Dark Knight Rises or other movies. You just gotta realize at the end of the day, the words, let it pass by you. Well, why don't you say the word? Because I don't wanna. So Blacula comes back and he following this one girl. Because you've seen this before. Sees a girl. Oh my god, you're a reincarnation of my lost love. You've seen that before in other, whether Dracula movies or even Fright Night. The original Fright Night, Jerry Dandridge saw Amy, and it looks like the girl he used to know, and the painting looked like Amy. You've seen that in a lot of these vampire movies. There's some goofy stuff in it. When the doctor finds out what's going on, they find the other gay guy in the grave. They put a stake in him, and it's obviously a dummy. Like, you could tell it's a dummy that they're staking. A morgue attendant, the doctor warns them, like, be careful, that girl, there's something wrong with it. Okay, he doesn't pay attention. He's on the phone with another person. And this girl runs out in slow motion. And the slow motion screaming. And the girl is yelling, screaming, like down the hallway, and the guy doesn't notice until he turns like, oh. I'm like, so wait a minute. This whole time, she's going down the hallway, you're not noticing until, as soon as you turn, she must have been right here and then grabs you. Like, you don't know us a crazy vampire bitch streaming down the hallway? I'm like, maybe you did need some hearing aids. Would have saved your life. Maybe this is a... There you go. Get hearing aids. It could save your life from crazy vampire bitches. So yeah, this morgue attendant needed some hearing aids. And it looked goofy the way she's going slow-mo. I'm like... Even Kolchak the Night Stalker, the TV movies and the TV show handled vampire in the 70s a bit less goofy than this. I think what I compared to that, because like the production itself seemed like a TV movie, I mean, compared to other movies in the 70s, it didn't look like it had, the biggest budget or anything. And again, there's other things, like when Blacula gets one cop, it seems like a little bop on the head against the wall, and I guess the cop dies. But yeah, it's fun. Like I said, the actors, William Marshall as Blacula, he brings a nice sense of sophistication. And William Marshall, I think he was on an episode or two of the original Star Trek. Thomas Rasula, I can't say his last name. He's been in some stuff. He, again, did well as the Doctor. Good leads of evil and the side of good. The other actors were there. I like the scene where there's a bunch of vampires in a warehouse and they start throwing Molotov cocktails and setting these vampires on fire. And again, they get to like this facility, and I don't know if it was the version I saw, but when they're in the facility, the footsteps sounded weird. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was some kind of echo, or even though it sounded wet, like an echo wet. I don't know how it is. Maybe it's just the version I saw. Maybe that's the movie's fault. But this footsteps just sounded weird in this facility. It just kind of... It put my attention off of the film and more into, what the fuck is that sound effect? And then, spoiler alert, spoilers. The cop shoots the girl on accident. One of the cops, he gets pissed, starts smacking the cops, bites the girl so that she's technically alive. Our good guys stake her, and then he kind of just gives up and goes, there's no need for that. And then Blacula walks to the sun and offs himself. So he even, like a gangster, like, I like that girl. Fuck this shit. I'm done. And with the beginning of the film, there is a sense of, you feel a bit sorry for this character because Dracula fucked him over at the beginning of the film. And with the way it ends, again, you feel a bit of sympathy for him. At least compared to other monsters. I never felt sympathy for Dracula, but I feel a little bit of sympathy for Blacula. And again, the way William Marshall plays it. It went at a good enough pace. It didn't feel that slow of a movie. The soundtrack has the funky tunes that you would get in a 70s movie. There's nothing song-wise that... Even the opening was kind of interesting because it was kind of animation where you see like this red glob of blood floating around, and then you see like this black, like shadow Dracula, like Blacula, I guess, chasing after it. And it would cut to all these different things, like this weird artwork where it would keep wanting to chase, and sometimes turns to a bat, sometimes turns to a man, but it's all in shadow, always chasing this red glob, I guess chasing blood. I want to tell you, that's a kind of an interesting way of doing the opening credits. It's not typical, it's a little bit quirky, and I don't know, just made it stand out a little bit. Again, the music, that 70s funky music. Yeah, Blacula, it wasn't scary, it wasn't creepy at times, it was laughable. I did some of the effects, like when they stab the one person, like I say, it looks like a dummy they're stabbing. Or the one vampire, there's some laughable stuff in it. The side characters, I don't know how people would feel about it being on PC. I think people watch it like, who gives a shit? It's, it's a movie. I'm just saying that for people who do care. And obviously, this wasn't the end of Blacula because there was a sequel. So, yeah, I think the two leads helped a bit. And you do a lot worse Dracula films. And I really don't know what else to say. It's pretty straightforward. And if you like Dracula vampire movies, if you like blaxploitation movies, it's an interesting melding of the two. And yeah, William Marshall, I thought he was the best part of it. I thought he did a nice job as Blacula. And was kind of a weird type. I mean, I get why it's called Blacula. I do wonder if people would think even the title would be un-PC or not. Blacula. But I don't know. People think everything is racist nowadays, so what do I know? With that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.